You mentioned in one other video the importance of pausing long enough for the PDA person to process. This is something I noticed with my older son when I was trying to communicate with spoken language in burnout, was that when I was starting to use declarative language, like, hey bud, I noticed that you didn't eat your apples, that he would not respond to me a lot of the time. I was taking that as avoidance or even defiance, because I was early on in my journey, and it really annoyed me because he wouldn't respond, right, when I'm speaking directly to him, even using declarative language. But then one day I noticed he looked up and he was like, "What, mama?" And I realized, like, it wasn't defiance or avoidance, like he just hadn't heard me or he hadn't processed. I would give a long pause. I would say, "Sweetie, I don't know if you heard me." He would be like, "I heard you." Or he would be like, "What?" And then I could see, oh, he hadn't like auditorily processed what I said. In speech with him, as we started to be able to have more regulated semi-conversations, I noticed that, and with my younger son too actually, that when I was trying to bring up a topic or sort of ask questions about a topic that they brought up, there would be a pause or a silence afterwards, and I'd start talking again and they'd be like, "I'm thinking," or "wait." And I realized, like, oh, perhaps even though they're very verbal and social, they are autistic, and so this is kind of not their first language. You know what I mean? And though they had typical verbal development, it's just we had to break down communication that was happening reciprocally into shorter sentences with pauses that feel uncomfortably long, so that the other person or child has time to process and respond. And that means patience, grasshopper. Patience. And I had to learn this the hard way because I kept getting hissed at and growled at and told to shut up.